welcome to another episode with Calvin T Tech. On today's episode, I'll be teaching how to create an app and then publish your app to Google Play or App Store and then gain something from it as people download your app.
Okay guys, so the first thing you need to do is to open a web browser and search for appGYVER.com. Great. So after searching for appGYVER.com, you click on the first link that appears. Alright, so when you look at the menu bar, you can see pricing, documents, community, blog, careers, login or sign up. Since it's our first time using appGYVER, we are going to sign up. So you click here, sign up for free. Great, so you can fill the options given here. That's your email, your password, first name, last name, company, and your country. So you enter your email account. Great, and then you enter your password. Great, so you enter your first name. And then your last name as well. Company name. And the country you are in. Okay. Alright, so you just accept the terms and conditions that appGYVER requests from you. Alright, so okay. Okay guys, so you can see that we have access to appGYVER now. Okay, so you can see organization name as we typed earlier on here, and you can see an option here to set up for personal use. So if it's for personal use, you just click on it right here and then click on continue. Alright, so appGYVER will want to ask you some questions to see how best they can also help you to use this software. So you just choose the one that you really want to use or the description that best suits you. Alright. Great. So we are now yet to start with our projects. Okay, so one thing about appGYVER is any app you start developing is called a project here in appGYVER. Any app you start developing is called a project in appGYVER. So you click on create new to start with your first project. Alright, so from this menu or from this option, you can see a blank app. That's the default theme. The default theme for appGYVER is white. You can choose a dark theme too if you want. So for this tutorial purpose, let's use the default one for now. And then you set a name for your project. Okay, let's set a name for our project. So let me name it YouTube. Okay, so you click on create. Okay, so you can see app created successfully. Okay guys, so you can see that currently we are using the full screen projection preview. That's why you can see all this white empty space all over, unlike the previous one, that's the iPhone XS, XS Max and so on. Okay, so As I said earlier on, that I will be creating or I'll be developing a software for projecting or previewing or showing photos as a young photographer. And I don't know the kind of website you want to create, but this is purposely for this tutorial. Okay, you can use these steps, you can follow these steps to create any other software you want. Okay, so let's start. One thing we should all know is that every software or every application has a title. Okay, so let's come here and then click on title. You just drag it to this white empty sheet or space, and then you release your hand. Right, so let's come here. When you come to the property section on the right side of the window, you can see that we have content, repeat with, advanced properties, delete, and then show in marketplace. Okay, I'll be dealing with all of that later, so let's start with this one. As I said earlier on, I will be doing a whole series on this GYVER software or GYVER website on how to create a new error. Okay, you can see that we are now yet to create or edit our first app here. So when you look here on the menu bar, you can see YouTube, that's the name of our project, and a page, that's the current page we are working on here, and launch. All these are commands on how to create or how to enhance the use of your app. A theme here, I'll be diving into that later. I'll be doing a whole series on that later, so don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss any of these series. Okay, just subscribe. You can see navigation here, you can see data here, you can see add data resource. I'll be doing a whole series on that. So don't forget to subscribe. All right, okay, so that's authentication and then community. All right, so let's start. On this sidebar here, you can see the basics, that's icon, title, paragraph, and then the forms, lists. When you go down here, you can see primitives. Great. All these are tools that's gonna help you create your software. And then here you can see core by me installed. So we are just going to dive into that later. Let's move on here. So this is where you're going to edit, or let's say you're going to format your designs here. This is where you're going to do everything, and this is the sheet. It's more of a sheet that displays how your app is going to look like once you publish it to Google or App Store. So from here you can see that we are using the projection of iPhone XR, XS Max, 6 Plus, 7 Plus, 8 Plus. So when someone installs your app and the person uses iPhone XR, XS Max, 7 Plus, 6 Plus, 8 Plus, this is how your app looks, or it's going to look on his or her phone. Now let's click here, iPad Pro. Great, this is how it's going to look. Alright, when the person uses Chromebook Pixel, this is how it's going to look. Alright, here when the person uses iPod Touch, this is how your app is going to look on the person's phone. Alright, so this is just a full screen. Let's say you are designing the app for it to be run on a laptop or a desktop computer. This is how your app is going to look like. So let's begin with it. Let's begin to make this page empty. Okay, great. You all can bear with me that every software or every application has a title. Okay, so we just come here, we select our title, we drag it and we drop it here. Great. So on this side of the window is where you can edit your title, or let's say on this side of the window is where you can edit everything here. Okay, on the right side is where you edit everything on the left side, and it appears or it displays on in the middle of the window. Okay, it displays here. So the content, this is basically the name of the title, okay, it's headline. So if I clear everything here, you can see that it is all deleted. So assuming the title of the app, that is the app that displays photographs, is called Kelvin T Gallery. Alright, Kelvin T Gallery is the title of our app. Alright, so this is the properties. Alright, this is the properties. So let's move to the style. You just click on it and you go to the style. Right, so you can see dimensions and positions, typography, background, transform, and advanced. Okay, so the dimension and position deals with adjusting the width and the height of your title. Okay, adjusting the width or the height of your title, and you can see margins. That's to adjust the margins, and you can see positions as well. So assuming you want to move it a little bit to the left by 14, let's type 14. Great, you can see that it's moved here. Let's add 40. Great, so you can see that it has moved all the way from this place to this place. So since it's already selected, right? If you don't select it, it won't work. So once you want to edit it, you just select it and then you come here and edit it. You have typography. Typography is more of the font, everything about the font, the text, the alignment, and everything. Like it's more of text, font, alignment, spacing, decorations, and stuff. Okay, so let's say I want to move it. I want to change the text alignment to the center. I'll just click here, read, and move to the center. If I want to move it to the right, click here, right, click here, center. Okay, so let's say I want to change the font style to maybe Lato. I just click on Lato. Alright, so you can see that our font style change. That's the same as everything here. Once you click on it and then you adjust it to whatever you want it or however you want it, it automatically changes here once it's highlighted. Okay, let's move to the background. So the background is more of changing whatever is behind the black text or the dark text in front of us. That's more of the background. And then we have a transform and advanced. As I said earlier on, I'll be doing a whole episode or a whole season on how to use GYVER. You just subscribe so that you don't miss any of our episodes. We'll be dealing with all these in my next episode. So just subscribe so you don't miss it. Alright. So Kelvin T Gallery, let's start to edit something or create something. So we just come here. It is more of whatever you want to do. Okay, if you want to add a button, you just come here, you click on it, and then you drag and drop. So as I said, it's a photo gallery, so we'll be using it to display photos. So you just need more of images. Alright guys, so as I said earlier on, that we'll be doing a software to display images. So you can just drag it here and then drop it. Right, just like this, but we need to make our app look so professional, so we decide to pair the images so that they can lay side by side and move at the same time. So to do that, you just have to select the rule. So the rule is basically a rectangular field that divides our working area here into two or more equal parts. So we just drop it here. Alright, so when we come to our editing area, we can see a tree here. So a tree arranges our apps or the tools that we are using for our apps in series. Okay, it arranges them in series and sequences. So as you can see, our title is here. That's the first thing that we did, and our row. Alright, so this just shows us that the one on top of our app is our title, and the one that comes right next to it is our row. Great, so let's just insert our image into our row. We can see that our row is divided into two equal parts, so you just drop the first image right inside our row, second image to right inside our row. Alright, so a row, each divisions of a row is called a cell. Okay, if you divide a row into two, it's called, each part is called a cell. So you can see here that this is our row, and then we dropped an image into cell 1, that's this one, and then we dropped an image into cell 2, which is this one. Great. So let's now add our images to it and adjust some things. So when we click here, if you want to add an image, you just click on the first image box you want to add, and then come to source, and then you click on this one, click on upload a file. Right, so just go through your computer and then look for any image you want, and you just insert it right away. Okay, so assuming I want to use this one for my image 1, I just click on open. Great, so you can see that our image has been displayed in our cell 1. Likewise, I do the same to see. Okay guys, so let's continue adjusting the size and width of our image right here. So then come to style again, and we make our width 350 px 350. Alright, and we do the same thing here, 350 as well. Great. Okay guys, so we need to add some text to it to show maybe the price or the name of our product we are displaying, or our image that we are displaying. So we need to get a row 2. Since this one is also in rows, we need to add another row. So you come here, you just drag it, and then we drop. Alright, so we need a title for our image, as I said earlier on. So we just come to the title, and then we drop it right into our cell, which is the division of the row. Right, do the same thing here as well. Okay, so it's time for us to give it a name. So we just click on it, come to properties, then we enter a name for it. So let's say it's called a red necklace. Alright, this one is the blue necklace. Maybe this goes for, let's say, $25. 25. And the red one also goes for $30. Okay. Alright, so we can see that we have our image placed side by side with a description and a price attached to it. So what do we do next? We add a button to it. So let's come here. So we'll be adding a button to it. And as I said earlier on, everything we are doing here is in root. So any function or any tool you want to add to our app here, and then you want it to move in pairs, you just add rules to it just to enable it to move in pairs. So let's add a rule to it. Great, but with this time we are doing our rows 4 instead of 2. So how to do it? Just come here and you can see our cells. As I've been saying, that a row is divided into cells. Okay, so right now you can see we have 2 cells, cell 1 and cell 2. If I want to add more, I just tap here. You can see that we have cell 1, 2 and 3. If I want to remove one, if I want to remove one, I just come here and I click minus. You see you have 2 cells, 1 and 2. Great, so as I said, we'll be using 4 cells here, so we get 1. Alright, we have 4 cells now. So you click on the first cell and then you use this button here, you just drag it and then we drop it. Right, and then we come here to this icon button, we drag it and then we drop it to our next cell. Good. So we hold the button again, drag it and drop it into our third cell, and likewise another icon to the last cell. Great, so let's name it. As I said earlier on, we are displaying images placed under each image, so let's just adjust them to the center of our image. To do that, you just click on the button, come to style, come to dimensions and positions, drag down to position and then enter the position. So we are moving to the left, so we enter a position to move to the left. You just type it. Let's say you want to move 15 or 14, just type 14. As you can see, it just moved to the left by 14. Alright guys, so the actual position we'll be using for this video is, let's say, 5-4. Great, we are using 54 for this video. You can see that it has been placed right in the center of our image. Likewise to this one, we do it 54 too. To the left. Great. So you can see our button is in the center once again. So let's name this button, let's say add to cart. Do the same thing here, add to cart. And then we click on our second cell, just click here. Great, so the icon button has so many icons you can add to your apps. When you scroll down, you can see we have so many icons. Let's just search for the one we want. So since it's an app to display pictures so that consumers or users of this software can purchase them, we are using a shopping icon for this software. So let's search for shop. Right, you can see this one here, shopping cart. Just click on it. So you can see that cell 2's icon has changed from a star to shopping cart. So we just come to typography. You want to make it a little bit bold, and then you just type, let's do it 35. Alright, you can see that it is a little bit bold. Come here, let's know that everything we do on the left side, we do the same thing on the right side. So let's change this one to, okay, from star to shopping. Okay. Alright, so let's just change the color. text color. Let's make it yellow. Alright, so just you can see that our card has changed from blue to yellow. Do the same thing here. Yellow. Great. So it's now turn to just change the position of this one so that it can be placed side by side with the add to cart. Okay, so we'll come to dimensions and positions as well. Okay guys, so before that, let's just change the color of our title so that our software can be a bit colorful. Okay, so let's change the color to, let's say, violet. Alright, so you can see that has now been changed. Okay guys, so after adjusting our card here to fit or to be in line with the add to cart text on the button, this is our end result. So we can see that it already looks professional. Okay, so we are now about to add some functionalities to it. Right now, when I click on add to cart, what do I expect to see, or what do I expect to happen? When I click here, what do I expect to happen? That's what we're coming to do it now. Okay, so let's click here, empty page, and then we add a new page. Okay, give it a page name. So let's say do it by 2. Yeah. Okay. Alright, so this is our second page. Okay, when I click on add to cart, it will automatically bring me to my second page. Okay, so assuming, as I said, a software for displaying images and for buyers to get in touch and then trade or buy them. So what are the things they expect to see when they click on add to cart? That is what we are doing here. So let's just clear everything here. Alright, so we'll be needing a paragraph. Okay, that is simply a sort of text to show our location, to show maybe our number, our PayPal, any kind of thing to talk more about our previous image. Okay, so you just drag it here and then you drop it. Great. So let's just start to type something. So let's say we want a contact to display. Contact. Alright, so on my next bar, alright, so let's move to our first page. Okay, let's move to our first page. Alright, as I said, I will be adding some functionalities. Let's start with it now. Alright, so if I click on add to cart, what do I expect to see? So let's highlight the add to cart. That's our first button. Go right here. So on this side of the window is where we add functionalities to our app. Okay, so it's more of what happens if I do this or that to my app. Okay, so it's more of some coding thing. This one is a no code, strictly no code app. Okay, so let's just add some functionalities. So instead of coding app open to page, when the person clicks on it, you just hold it, drag it, and then drop. Right, so we just type of page you want the person to open. Okay, just click on part 2, we save, then we save. Alright, so to view how your app will look like when a person is using it, you just click on launch, open app in preview portal. Alright, so you click on open. Great, so this is how our app will be looking like when someone uses it. Okay, so you can see that the size of, or the position of the text here has changed, as well as the cards has changed because of the preview projection that we were using. This isn't a full screen preview projection. Okay, so as I said earlier on, if you are developing the software for a computer or any, let's say, a computer or a laptop, yeah, this is the one we are using for our project is the kind of projection we want to use, but it has changed our preview projection here, which we can adjust or make changes to that later. But we should concentrate on more, as I said, the functionalities when I click on the add to cart here. So let's click on it. Boom, you can see that it has moved to our next page, that is the part 2. So you have our contact here. So if the person click on add to cart, the person can have your number here, call and make enquiries. Okay, good. So let's go back. That's how to create a software for displaying photographs and also selling them. So we just continue to do it over and over again till you get satisfied with how you want your software to be. So subscribe so that you learn how to upload your app to Google or to Google Play or App Store for free. I state it emphatically, for free. So just subscribe to episode 2 of how to create our app season.